Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Thursday, January 20th. January? I'm in such a rush. I'm stumbling over my words. Today is January 5th, 2023. Thursday. Ooh. You know, I have an idea, guys. I've been thinking about it. Yesterday I was saying, like, what do we do with happy hour? I don't have that many more recovery beverages to like test out anymore. And, you know, I don't always want to get boozy at 1 p.m. on a Thursday. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with like the Thursday happy hour spot. And I have an idea, but we'll get into that. But first, I want to say hi to everyone listening on the podcast on the audio only version. Hopefully you guys are having a good run out there today. Here in Crystal Lake, it is snowing. And it's just been a little bit of a surprise. I wasn't expecting any snow this morning. And it was colder than I was expecting it to be. But otherwise, you know, I always like running in snow. It's a perfect texture for running. It's dry, so it's not going to make your feet wet. You know, so hopefully you're having a good run out there too. Everyone watching this on YouTube live, but after the fact, welcome to you guys as well. Hopefully your dinner was a good one, nutritious, and sustaining for your body, for your recovery after your workout today. And welcome for the live stream. And everyone that's here live, welcome to you guys too. Runner Will says, hello, everyone. Hope you all are having an amazing day. Mike Tokyo is like right there now. I have to get my flights in order. Yeah, I feel like it's very close. But I will say, fortunately, yesterday I took the Hyperion Max out for a first workout, and it worked out really well. And I felt like I had a pretty good workout too. And I was like, this was the first time in a while where I felt like, you know, I felt like my legs were kind of back, you know. After CIM, I never really feel like I bounced back quite right. And yesterday was a good one. So I think that bodes well. I don't know if it's going to be a PR attempt kind of day. The next couple of weeks will still tell me that, but I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more optimistic. Terrence, who says, hello, Co and Co. No meeting, so we'll finally get to participate. All right. Well, good to see you, Terrence. Lalo Uchiha says, hello, everyone. Super rainy here in SoCal. Going to have to do 9 miles around the track. Oh, that's long. That's pretty close to the longest I've ever run around at the track too. Yeah, that is a long. You know what? That's the kind of day where it's like, put in a nice long podcast, get your earbuds in, and then just zone out. And that's actually not too bad. Eliza says, hi, co-fam. Sad I missed yesterday. Too many meetings. Had a cold rainy run this morning working on my winter grit. Oh, yeah, I've been working on winter grit too. Yes, I haven't added my numbers from today. I ran this morning before the live stream. But as of last night, I was like in 32nd place, which I feel like that's a fluke, and eventually I'll get past. But that's the highest ranking I've had so far. So maybe after the live stream today, I'll go add my grit miles. And then maybe I'll be higher than 32. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing okay. I think I'm averaging a little bit more than 10 miles a day so far, which is a high number. It's more than I've been running in a while. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe depending on people's weather, where they are, they might not be able to put in that much mileage. But then people can do treadmill stuff. So, you know, I don't know. Sean says, hey, everyone, with a wave emoji. He says, doing that thing where I learned how to correctly spell various injuries from excessive Googling. All right. Well, hopefully you're going to be okay there, Sean. Boston's not that far away. I think are we like 100 days? We're less than 100 days out from Boston, aren't we? I think we're pretty close. We're close to 100 days out from Boston. We're getting there. So like that's also right around the corner. And you know what? I got to say, I think that training for, like people say that training for spring marathon stinks because you're training through the winter. But I say, then it makes the winter seem to go faster, because instead of it being like, oh, the winter's so long, it's like, oh, only like 8 more weeks till Tokyo, you know? So I am a big fan of training through the winter. I know a lot of people like to use it as an off season, and I probably should too, since I don't really have an off season. I think I'm going to use my summers as my off season. The hottest months in Chicago, like June, July, like after grandma's, July, August, and even into September. Probably September's too late, because then I got to start getting ready for Chicago. But, you know, I wish grandmas were in May, kind of. But then I think it might be too cold. I don't know. But on the calendar year for when May, it would fit in a lot better. But I'm a big fan of the winter training, and grit so far has been fun to see who else is in there. I was just looking through some of the other names that were on like the leaderboard, and the only other one that I recognized right away was, which I'm like, where is? Maybe they're not. I mean, they got to be participating, but like, where's Megan Murray's numbers? She's got to be up there higher than me. Maybe she's only doing it like once a week and not every day like I am, like uploading the numbers. But I did see Alyssa Kolarik is participating this year. She's someone I met at 2 CIMs ago. She's out of Ohio, chasing that sub 3. And I'm trying to think of who else. I don't know. Are you guys doing grit? Let me know. All right, let me scroll down to the bottom here. Richard Wilson says, I have 4 times 3 minute max. Hill repeats in the California storm plan. Adversity. Well, be careful. Make sure it's safe. I don't know if the Southern California winter, like those storms that you guys get, do those get like lightning and thunder and stuff? Then I'd be worried. But yeah, Burnout Alcohol is here, says, yo, what's going on? I did the ASO 800 by 8 on the track yesterday with the Takumi Sen 8. I felt good and fast. I just wish I didn't have to crank the laces down so hard. Yeah, here's the thing with the Takumis, is that like you have to loosen all the laces to get your foot in, and then you got to retighten all the laces once your foot is in. But I feel like once the laces are set, they're good. And then it's just like you've got this like beautiful racing slipper on, It's a good one. I still have the Takumi Sen 9 here. I've had them for a long time. I'm debating. So I've got another, maybe I'll use them for my next workout. But I'm also thinking maybe I should try to take the Adazero SL for a workout. I don't know. We'll see. But then I've also got the Mizuno Wave Rebellion over there on the floor too, and I'm like, I gotta slot that one in. So I got some fun workout shoes coming up, or at least some fun testing. I don't know if they're fun or not, but yeah, I got to get to those. Runner Will says on Winter Grit he's 154th. Nice work. Yeah, let's see who else. See, Matthias Sventos says, if there's lightning, do you stay in? Yeah, I would avoid it, or I'd at least try to wait it out. You know what I mean? If the lightning is a concern. For me, especially since I run with a selfie stick, although I'm pretty sure the stick is plastic. I don't think there's a lot of metal, but the camera is metal, so... so that's why lightning really concerns me. But it's kind of like that, and like really crazy winds will keep me inside. If it's really cold, I'll still kind of go. But there was that one day over the Christmas break where it was really cold and really windy, and I was like, I'm not doing that today. So. Let's see, someone else. Oh, Vince Warren says, I'm on grit. See you on that too. Also on spring marathon training. See, spring marathon training is fun, I think. I just think it makes the winter pass better. Not that I usually try not to rush through stuff because like every season is nice. I like the winter. I like winter running. And I try not to be like, oh, I can't wait till this next thing. I try not to like rush through life like that. But once you get to like February and it's like been gray for what feels like forever, then you're kind of like, all right, I need something to take my mind off of all this, Affluent Journeys is doing the Croom Zoom 25K on Saturday. Nice. Good luck on that. And Sean Marshall says, you guys think grit is worth it? I don't love a lot of virtual events. But the swag this year is really nice. I did request not to receive the swag though. So like when you signed up, you can elect not to receive it. And there was like an ASICS pullover that was really nice, but I already have that ASICS pullover. I have a different color of it, but like I was like, the quantities are limited. So like, I'll still pay the registration fee, but someone else can do it. Is there pins going out this year or like patches? I'm kind of into the pins, like Robbie at Believe in the Run. I'm into the pins. And I'm hoping I get the Winter Grit hat. I don't know if I get the Winter Grit. Since I said no to the pullover, I don't know if I can get the hat. I really want the hat. The Winter Grit hat, that's worth the price for me of the Winter Grit registration. And then it's just fun to kind of like, you know, Strava's fun, but like this Winter Grit one is like, it's a smaller group of people, you know? So I like it. And I know for some, I think I like the idea that it's in January. It's kind of a good way to motivate people too. Because I do think that streaks are good overall. People can sometimes take them in unhealthy ways, but you know, I think having small defined streaks, I think is good. Not that a 30-day run streak is small, you know. Danny Running with Scissors says, "Hey, Co, and everyone watching. What's going on, Danny? Good to see you. Looks like Martha's here. How you doing, Martha?" Adam says, if there's thunder, just run with someone taller, slower, and meteor. So if there's lightning, someone taller, and if it's mountain lions, slower and meteor. I don't really have to worry about mountain lions on here, though. But you know, that's why I try to run with Drew Wickholm and wear testers as much as I can. Dan Johnson says, the good thing about winter running is you can layer up for the conditions. You can only take off so much in the hot summer months. Yeah, I agree. I just think that like I'm not very well suited for the hotter running. I think the hotter running affects me more than cold running does. That being said, I tend to prefer a little bit of a warmer race temperature than most people. You know, like Thomas likes it like freezing, literal freezing temperature for him to race. And I'm like, that's too cold. I think Ben Johnson likes it around like 40 degrees for a marathon race PR. And I even think that's a little bit on the cold side. So when it's like 45, I'm like, nice. I like it. Because otherwise I just feel like I'm spending a lot of energy shivering. And it messes up my thirst signal. You know, like I don't know when to drink water and stuff. I never feel like drinking water. I don't feel like eating. You know, so like that kind of messes me up. When it's a little bit warmer, like mid 40s, then I'll start to... then I can like hear my body better, you know. That's my take on it. And I will say that like the downside for me in winter running is when it's super cold here. You know, some people were messaging me about it and asking questions during that really cold spell that we had, and people were like, how do you get ready for long runs?" And I'm like, when it's near 0 Fahrenheit, there isn't a long run. Like 90 minutes is a max. Most of the runs are like 60 to 70 if I can make it that long, you know. I've had the situation where it feels like my contacts are starting to freeze, or I've had the situation where it's so cold that I'm getting a headache or I feel buzzed, you know. So I'm like, that's not good. So I've been there. So there's a limit to how much you can layer up. I suppose I could have layered up more on those days. But like at a certain point, like even just having my eyes exposed, like that becomes a pain point. And so there's certain limits, and it's hard to do a workout if you're wearing like a neck gaiter over your mouth, you know. But you can, but I still prefer, I still prefer winter running to summer running. I think. I mean, don't get me wrong, running in like 2-inch shorts, 3-inch shorts, and a singlet is really nice though. Eric says, the Grit is my first virtual event. He had mileage planned, so the ASICS pullover was just a nice plus for signing up. See, that's kind of how I feel like it. I feel like as long as for Grit, there's a nice thing is that there's a Grit party. So if you're like somewhat local, not that I don't think you have to do Grit to go to the Grit party. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how that works. If you're trying to run in January anyway, or if you're trying to, when do they do the other one? July? If you're trying to run a lot of miles in July, you know, the merch that they give away as part of Grit is usually worth the value, usually more than the value of the stuff, the registration. So I feel like that's good. And I think that like, you know, for a lot of the people in this chat, you know, we have a very established running habit. You know, we're running regulars. But for some people, I feel like if you like looking for a way to kickstart a season of running, maybe it's New Year's resolution time for you. I think things like Grit are great. Like, I think Grit would be great. Like, imagine if people, I think everyone here has Strava, right? But I feel like if you didn't have Strava, this would be a really nice way to kind of track your progress through the month. I do, like, there is that, like, ticker, like, there's a percentage tracker on Grit that tells you, like, my goal is 300 miles for Grit. And, like, as I'm adding miles, is it 300? I think it's 300. I don't remember how many miles I set for the goal. But, like, as you miles go up, I think it, like, it tells you, like, what percentage are you complete. And I think that's nice, and I think that, like, I don't know, I should tell Thomas. I think the next thing should be, like, there should be, like, a calendar that shows, like, which days you ran on, and then, like they do on Strava. Basically, just make it like Strava, but for Grit, because I think that'd be a fun way for people who maybe aren't as seasoned as most people here are, to kind of like, oh yeah, this running streak thing is kind of fun. Even if you're not doing like 30 days of running, you could do like 5 or 6 in a row. That's kind of what got me like really excited about run streaking, is like seeing it visually. Lou Boy says, pre-ordered the Elliot Runners for my wife and I, cannot wait. I think a lot of people are really going to like that. I've been kind of avoiding the comments on that video because I don't know what it is, but lately on the YouTube channel, I really think that I'm just noticing it more, and my mind is drawing out some more of the negative stuff than the positive stuff. But I feel like all my year-end videos and some of the videos I've been doing lately, there's just been a lot of negative people commenting, especially when their shoe's expensive. And like for the Elliot Runner, I thought that there'd be a lot of really positive feedback for that video, and like at least what sticks out in my mind is that people are like, it's all expensive. I could buy 3 Puma Velocity 2s for that. And I'm like, I'm not sure you can, but I understand your point. It's not cheap. I never said it was. Nothing from Tracksmith is cheap. So it's just like, it's an interest. And then, yeah, but I'm glad that some people are excited about it. I'm excited about the shoe. I like it. I think it's a really good initial release. I'm thankful that it's not. My concerns were that it was going to feel more like a Reebok Float Ride, and that's a good shoe. But like that, if they sold like a float ride at like a $200 float ride, I'd be like, what is this? And then, or if it felt like an Allbirds, where it was like run inspired, and you really weren't supposed to run it, then I'd be like, well, what is this? This is a running brand, So, but it's a shoe you can really run it. And I don't like, I kept trying to think to myself about it. Like, if this shoe had been out in 2022, would it have cracked the top 5 of my favorite daily trainers for the year? Maybe. That's how good I think it is, So I'm not saying it's the best shoe. It's not my favorite. It's a little bit firmer than I'd like, but like, it looks really darn good. It feels really comfortable to wear around casually, and it's pretty darn good running too, So hope you guys love it. People keep telling me that like, oh, they've seen the black and gray one, or they've seen the navy. Like the one I have is like cream and navy. There's a navy and cream version one apparently coming out too. People say how great they look. I'm like, I don't know. I'm very nervous about that. Like with the foams, with the P-backs, I'm like, colored P-backs, I'm just not, sometimes I don't love it. I don't know what it is about the material. I just don't feel like it takes color well because it's painted or whatever. So I'm nervous, but I do like the first one. Yeah, Jody Beck says, when the super shoes first came out, people said they were too expensive, and now everyone is wearing them. Yeah, that's certainly true. Frank says, the video for the Elliot was great, but I didn't take it as an unreserved thumbs up. Yeah, for sure. It's not a perfect shoe. I'm not sure if it would be in my top 5, but like, it's the allure of Tracksmith. That brand has a lot of value for its first shoe. There's more to it than just the shoe performance, which I think some brands don't get that benefit of the doubt and some do, Eric says, yeah, I'll say I'm often guilty of going after the retro brand expensive niche things, but if it's comfortable, I'll wear it. Yeah. Energy Runners says they sell Yeezys for $400 plus, and my cross-country teammate wears them for training. Which one? The one that looks like a running shoe, or the big one that looks like a giant bathroom slipper? Which one? That's amazing. Mark says, I like the gold script Tracksmith on the tongue and insert. I like to see him put that logo big on the front of a sweatshirt. Can you imagine that? I think that would not feel very on brand though. You know what I mean? Because like they don't put the word on the shirts. Do that? I'm trying to think if I've ever seen like the word logo, Tracksmith, the script on a shirt. I don't think I've ever seen it even on a hat. Not by itself. It's usually with the rabbit, right? Frank says, Tracksmith sells in part by being expensive though. They're the Pottery Barn kids of running. Are they the Pottery Barn kids of running? I feel like in the running world, that's why I feel like the LL Bean collab was. I'm like, is that really a collab? That's kind of like the same thing. But I feel like they're very much like to me. Sometimes it has very much like what was it? American Outfitters. Was that what it was? No, Abercrombie. Very like Abercrombie feel to it. Like they started out making expensive, and then they had an image and a look that went with it, and then that like became, the reason for the expensiveness. But the thing that's different about the Tracksmith stuff is like, it's good stuff. I run in it. There's the one thing, the no days off tights, the winter tights that are like super, super thick. The reflective strip is starting to like wear off on mine. Maybe I'm not supposed to put it in the dryer. I've been putting it in the dryer. But other than that, things that I get from Tracksmith really perform well. So it's not like expensive just for the sake of being expensive, but there's definitely a price premium for that brand. Oh, Sean says, I have a hoodie that says Tracksmith in big block. Oh yeah, there's one that says Tracksmith in big block letters. I feel like that was a joke that somehow like got through and they're like, we should sell this. Because I feel like whenever I see the Tracksmith with the big block letters, I love that one. I think it looks great. But it reminds me of the, Jim Belushi in Animal House, where he has a sweatshirt that just says college on it. I feel like that was the inspiration. I feel like someone did that as a joke one day. Because like we're old school. Let's think about like old school, like collegiate university style. And then they were like, let's do a Tracksmith, but in like a college. What was it? Was it Jim Belushi? No, I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? From Animal House, the college sweatshirt. Sean Marshall says that Tracksmith is the J. Crew of running. I think that. The aesthetic is there, yeah, sure. And J. Crew is expensive stuff, maybe. This is no, the J. Peterman of running gear. Some of the stories, yes. I think if you look at like the catalog, then yeah, so I do get that vibe sometimes. But they're very deliberately painting like a tableau, if you will, setting the stage. And so they're selling you not just in a piece of apparel, they're selling you like an experience and a story, and a feeling, which I think is not always easy to do. Yeah. Dominic says, how does the Tracksmith quality compare to, say Sky or Path Projects? I think that they are different. I'm not familiar with Say Sky. I've never tried anything from Say Sky before. But for Path Projects, I think that they're both are a higher end stuff, but like Tracksmith is more of like a luxury premium high end, and Path Projects is more of like a rugged high end. You know what I mean? Like Path Projects for me is like stuff that you wear on the trail, or stuff that you're really gonna beat up and get sweaty and wring out. Like with their aligner system of shorts and things like that. So like that's kind of where I view it. But I feel like it's more premium. Like the stitching, the materials, it's just a nicer feel to it a lot of times. There's just a different feel to it. I'm not sure. Shannon says, hey, Co-Fam, I just remembered it's winter grit. Can't wait to get my men's ASICS pullover to look like Mocateer. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize that they were making that pullover in so many different like color blocking options, but I'm glad that they are because I love that style. And it seems like everyone's making one now, like in that style. But that's good because I like it. It works for me. Great for winter running. I haven't ran in. I almost ran in mine today because I was thinking about riding in the Glide ride. And I was like, yes, I'm going to wear this ASICS pullover. It's going to be perfect. And I was like, no, I'm going to run it in the On Cloud Monster. I feel like I've been running in that On Cloud Monster shoe forever. And it's good, but it's not exciting to me for whatever. I just am so bored whenever I put it on. And it feels like I've been running in it forever. And so I'm like, I have my own like mileage. I know like Strava keeps track of like your shoe mileage, but I also have my own way on a Excel sheet where I keep track of my shoe mileage, and I look at that periodically, and I'm just like, it's still at 60 miles. Like, how is that possible? Like, I've been running in that shoe like once a week for like 5 months. How am I at 60 miles on that shoe? I want to be done with it, but it never needs to be. It's never done. Ibrahim Gassin said, are you still wearing the Gore jacket? Yeah, I wore it a couple times over the winter break when I was trying to run a little bit faster for, was it a trail day? I don't know why I was wearing that one, but I wore it, yeah, in like near 0 temperatures Fahrenheit. It still holds up really well. I was thinking about getting another one because I was on the Gore website and they're back in stock, the Gore R5 Infinium jacket. So the Gore-Tex is what keeps the water out. Infinium is what keeps the wind out, and AlphaTech, which is not a Gore product, I don't think. Is it? No, I think it is the insulation. So there's like 3 technologies in that jacket, which make it so amazing. And it's just so good. So lightweight. But I like it enough that I'm thinking maybe I should get another one. If I were a normal person, I wouldn't need to get another one, but just because I review running products. So I don't know. Griffin Forberg says, I run in Chicago. I know you're familiar with the terrain, and my Mach 5s, which I love, don't offer enough grip. Got any recommendations for a speedy daily trainer with grip for light rain and snow? Tomorrow's video is going to be about the peg trail for Gore-Tex. And basically, the peg trail has kind of since it came out, has been like my favorite winter running shoe. So for like slushy, messy streets, the Gore-Tex is really nice because your feet will get messy, but the water won't get in. Unless you get in above deeper than your ankle. Like if you fall into like a giant puddle that's deeper than your ankle, then water will get in. Or if the snow's deeper than that, then it might get in. But otherwise, like that slushy stuff that's all over in the roads in Chicago, like all winter long, like that stuff, if it gets on your shoe, the heat from your foot will melt it, and then your foot will be cold, you know? So like I love a peg trail Gore. That'd be my recommendation. Is it a speedy daily trainer? No, but it's got a little bit more grip, and I think it's the lightest peg trail. I don't know. The first peg trail I felt like was pretty light, but it's lighter than the last one. The last one I tested was 2. I tested 1, 2, and 4 now. I skipped 3. I don't remember why, because I like the shoe so much. But 4 is really great. It's on sale now too. Like for 100, you can get the color I have is like $112 right now. So it's good. Luke Klein says, would you take the Takumi-sen to 10 miles? Yeah, I mean, I've done like a 16-mile run in them. If it's like, let me check the number on that. I know I've gone more than 13 miles and 14 miles in them, but that's more like, a long warm up, 4 or 5 miles. And it's not even a warm up, just 4 or 5 miles easy, then a threshold workout, which ends up being about 6 miles, a little bit under 6 miles, and then a couple miles cool down. And then the next thing you know, you're at like 13, 14 miles. I've definitely done that many times. So it can handle being out there that long. I wouldn't want to race like a half marathon. I think you could race a half marathon in them, but like, what's the price you pay for it later? Kind of thing. When the Adios 3 exists, you know what I mean? So it's like, for a half marathon, take the Adios 3. But for a 10K, even for a 15K, I think it'd be great to race in. But at the half marathon point, that's where I might be like, maybe. But like for a workout where there's like warm up, then there's work, and then there's recoveries, and then the cool down, and that the total's going to be more than 13 miles, for me, I think it's fine. Oh, Go Running with Oliver says, things are heating up for Houston. Now Molly Huddle is racing it. That's exciting. Really cool. Is she running the full or the half? Whoa. I bet you she's running the half. Did I tell you guys? I tried to get media credentials for Houston. I think I told you this, guy. So that's to you guys. I tried to get media credentials for Houston. And I'm annoyed because no one has emailed. I didn't even get like a no thanks. Like, we don't want YouTubers in our finish line area. Like, I didn't even get anything like that. But I did get an email saying like, you're getting this email because a lot of our credentialed media have been requesting an elite start list. We will be giving you one soon. And I'm like, whoa, wait, does that mean I'm credentialed media? Did I miss something did it go to spam? I don't know. I don't think no one's giving me media credentials. Yeah, I don't know. Shan says, who's racing the full at Houston? I saw the stacked half lineup. I haven't really been looking that closely at it. I got to figure it out. I got to figure some of that out. I got to figure out what some of the storylines are that I might want to. The main storyline that I want to cover is Megan Murray. See how she's doing. Not that I want to put pressure on her, but I'll definitely try to catch some footage of her running. I don't know. Is Thomas still running the half? I think Thomas is running the half. Ben Johnson will be there, so he's another one who I'll be keeping an eye on. I think he's going, right? I think he is. If they're there, I'm going, but not racing. So I think I'm going to try to be at the finish line for the half marathon finish. So like, I won't be seeing most of the marathoners very much. I'll see everyone maybe twice, but we'll see. Oh, Go Running with Oliver. That's right. Matt Choi is running the full. Oh, yeah. I should connect with him beforehand. Thanks for the reminder. Oh, and Brandon says Taggart's been going after it again. Oh, okay. All right. I'm really rooting for that guy. He's like a nice kid, I mean, he's a fully grown man, but I just feel like he's a good boy. Shannon says, Thomas sounded like he was out for the half, but all I care about is Megan. Well, kind of. Well, not that I wouldn't care about Thomas racing, but like I would rather Thomas be like ready to rock in Tokyo because I'm going to be there with him and running, So like, I'm going to be at Houston, but I won't be running too. So I'm like, well, if you can only run one of the two, then chill out in Houston and then let's go rip it in Tokyo kind of thing. Brandon said that Taggart is a good kid, and man, is he fast out of nowhere fast. Yeah, he is. Yeah, I'm always rooting for him. What I think is funny, every time he races, is it his girlfriend, his partner? I'm not sure what the official status is, but his partner is always like, I'm taking over Taggart's Twitter for today. I'll be giving you, it's very polite. I'll be giving you live updates as best as I can for the race. Jody says, I think Robbie is going to be going for it in Tokyo. Is Rob? Yeah, that's right. Robbie is coming. He's got a plan from Coach Andrew Castor. And I think Coach Castor's got him on a 5 days on, 2 days off training schedule. You know what? I should text him about it. He mentioned that he thought it was weird on the podcast, that he thought it was weird to have 2 days of rest off in a row. But you know who else does that? Andy, FOD Runner. He did that for a couple of training blocks because I think he was having, I don't know what, I think he did it mainly for busy life reasons. But you can get really fast even on a 5 days on, 2 days off schedule, you know? So, yeah, I hope. I mean, I'm a big fan of Robbie and his running. I'm fascinated by his dry January experiment, or I think he's going like dry Tokyo experiment, which I'm assuming means that like once he crosses the finish line, it's like show me where the sake is, you know. But yeah. Brandon said that Taggart's partner is Paige, and it's a fiance now. Oh, that's right. I think I saw that. They're engaged. Nice. Frank says that FOD Runner always has low mileage. Yeah, he does. He trains very differently than I think the way most people can train. I don't know. His body just responds to stuff, right? Like he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I've been injured and I haven't been running," and then after like 3 weeks, he's like, back ripping kilometer repeats again. So, you know. Sean says, so Megan Murray is going elite. I think she has a long-term goal. I mean, I don't know how many cycles she'll go for it, but I think for 2024 or like next year's, I mean, she wants to hit the OTQ so she can run next February in Orlando. I mean, that's a goal of hers. She's got 10 minutes to cut off. You know, that's a lot. But, you know, some people can do that. Even at her level, people have done that in one marathon training block, you know? So it's like, it's not impossible. And it's a big, audacious goal that I think she doesn't talk about a lot because I think, remember when she was trying to do, when was it? When she was just trying to break 3, like she like secretly trained for Indy. Do you guys remember that? And then she was like, I didn't want anyone to know I was going. I didn't want it to be a big thing. I didn't want to like talk to anyone about it. And then she just like, I was like, I think Megan's, I was like looking at her Strava. I'm like, she's training for something. What is she training for? And then I was like, she had an amazing result in Indianapolis. So like, that's kind of, so I'm trying not to like draw too much attention to her because it seems like she doesn't want too much attention for Houston. Because I don't think the goal is 238 or bust, you know? So like, I don't bet, you know, it's good to support your friends. Yeah, Jody says, every time I think Andy FOD Runner has peaked, he smashes out a new PB. Yeah, it's like I'm like, when is this guy going to plateau? He just keeps going. Stevie76 says, who's pacing Megan? I don't know. I don't know if Ben Johnson is pacing her again. I don't know what his PR. He's like a 243 guy or something. I think my sense is that like if weather's this is the kind of guy that Ben Johnson is. If the weather's good, he'll go for it. If the weather's not what he thinks is like conducive to PR chasing, then he'll be like, who needs a pacer? That's kind of what he does. Adam says, wasn't Molly Seidel's first marathon the trials? I think it was. She had never raced the distance before that. Yeah. Yeah, but it'll be interesting. Javier Salazar wants to know, favorite Ninja Turtle? Mine's Leonardo. My favorite is Michelangelo because he liked pizza the most. They all liked pizza, but Michelangelo was always the one who's like, when are we going to get the pizza, guys? And I was like, that's my kind of turtle. Leonardo is also like the leader, and like I'm not a natural, I have leadership qualities, but I'm not the natural leader a lot of times. I'm very good as a number 2. That's kind of my natural place that I slot in. But, you know, I'm kind of that person that I'll take the lead if I have to. So, like, Leonardo never really, like, appealed to me. Raphael was just, I don't know. It was just Raphael. And then Donatello had the bow, which I thought was pretty cool. But it was a stick, you know. So I'm like, I don't know about that one. Sean says, I had all the Ninja Turtle swag. I didn't have a ton of it, but I was super into it though. Yeah, Kyle says, of course you're a number 2 guy, Co. This is all I ever talk about. That's true. Who does number 2 work for? Works for me. Dominic Smardowski says the Ninja Turtles kind of freaked me out as a kid. They still kind of do. I don't know. I really like the Ninja Turtles. Like I was just totally into it. I loved the premise. I like the camaraderie of it. You know, I played all the video games. I had the Nintendo. It was the Nintendo game that I had. I played that one like crazy. And then the movies came out. I was super into the movies. And then there was like that reboot that they did of all that stuff when I was a little bit older, and I was like, "This, what the heck is it?" Remember when like Vanilla Ice was on the soundtrack for the Ninja Turtle movie? I think that was the reboot, right? That wasn't the one that I liked. There was a different movie that I liked, and then there was another one that came years later. I don't know. Jason Dahl says Donatello was my favorite because he was the sciencey guy who built stuff. Oh, really? Interesting. And Zach Apley says, speaking of turtles, what's your favorite style of pizza? You know, right now, I actually think my favorite style of pizza is Detroit style pizza. So like Little Caesars, Jets Pizza. I think that Pequod's Pizza in Chicago is technically Detroit style pizza. It's just round though. That's the thing. Detroit style pizza is, you know, the hallmark of it is that it's a square. So you have like those crispy corners, but basically it's almost like, kind of like Pizza Hut. Like a thick pan pizza, kind of almost like a Sicilian style slice. But they put cheese on the bottom of it so that it gets nice and crispy as it bakes in the pan. So it's not exactly deep dish, but it's not a Sicilian pie. It's something else. It's Detroit style. That's kind of my favorite. You get a really cheesy, crunchy, crispy crust, a focaccia style, like very chewy dough, and then a lot of tomato sauce that seeps into that dough, which I always feel like is really nice on a winter day like today, and then like a bunch of cheese on top. So I think that's kind of my favorite right now. I go in spurts, I think. Mila2858 says, are you subscribed to Runner's World Plus? Seems like every other article is behind a paywall. I'm not subscribed to Runner's World Plus. I haven't been subscribed to Runner's World for maybe... I had a physical, like the magazine subscription. So I don't think I've ever had Runner's World Plus. But I had the physical magazine maybe 2017 or so. So it's been about 5 years. So. Jason Dahl says, Shredder's Revenge is a great game for the Nintendo Switch. Brings back all the arcade memories. My kids have Nintendo DS. I'm trying to think. What's the Switch? I don't think I know what the Switch is. But that sounds great. If there's that old Turtles arcade game, that game was so good. I spent a lot of money on that thing. We used to live in a subdivision when that came out where we could ride our bikes to an arcade. I think I was about my daughter's age, my older daughter's age right now. And just like anytime we had like $4 or $5, instantly we're all riding over to the arcade and just turning that into tokens or quarters. Yeah. Eric says, well, you said bring some shoe questions, so I'll try here now. What's your most anticipated want to try trail shoe in 2023? That's interesting. I didn't see too many trail shoes at TRE, or I didn't like search them out. Like seeing other people's content of TRE makes me very interested in trying a North Face trail shoe for the first time this year. Because that stuff looked interesting to me. I'm not sure which one. I'm slightly interested in what's going on in Adidas, and I know I can talk about Adidas Terrex stuff. I think I can talk about Adidas Terrex stuff. But anyway, I reviewed the Ultra Trail Agravic. Or Agravic Ultra, I don't know. The one that has a 290 in it, it's 290 grams, that one. And last year I really liked that shoe. It was light strike and boost. But the shoe was really, like the sidewalls of the shoe, like where it touched your ankle on the sides, was really stiff. they said they softened that up and it should be fixed. And so I feel like that'll be really nice, but that's not super exciting, but that'll just be a good solid option. I feel like the Adidas Terrex shoes, I think, are going to be pretty good this year overall as far as a lineup. But I asked Hoka if there was a Mafate for GTX in the works. And they said, not right now, which I think means like it's not coming out like 2023 winter. Well, like this winter. This winter is going to be Speedgoat 5 GTX and Challenger ATR 7 GTX. I think those both should be coming out soon. And then, but I think hopefully at the end of next year, maybe we'll get them. I don't know if we're ever going to get a Mafate for GTX, but if that came out, that would probably be the one I'm most excited about. Just because I like the Mafate so much. And then I wore it in the winter, and it's pretty good. I don't know that it needs a GTX version, but I'd love to see it in a black, you know. So anything that I just like the Mafate a lot. I think that's what it is. But yeah, so those are some of like my overall thoughts. I'll probably try a Salomon shoe again, but not like the Sense Ride, not the real Salomon shoes. I'll try like the American Salomon trail shoes, like the ones that are built off like the Ultra Glide, because I think I might actually like that. So I'm excited to try new stuff that I haven't tried before for 2023. All right, let's do one more and then I gotta get going for today. Oh, Brian, he says, what about the Catamount 2? You know, I'm excited. I'm more like relieved about the Catamount 2. I have a feeling it hasn't changed very much, which is good because the first one was really good and I liked it a lot. It looks very different from version 1, but I don't think it's going to be very different. I'm just happy that they're like continuing it and that it's not disappearing, because I just don't know what's going on at Brooks sometimes. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's good to know that shoe is going to be continued. I don't know though, if, you know, it'd be lovely is if they gave it a little bit more DNA flash and gave it the Hyperion Max treatment. Because the Hyperion Max, let me give you a preview of the review, because that's not going to come out for like a couple weeks, maybe like 10. That video probably won't come out until after Houston. But that shoe, it's everything that I loved about the Hyperion Tempo, but now it's a bit softer. So it still has all the good things about the Tempo, but now that it's like cushioned and you can wear it every day, because it has that little bit extra. And I was worried that more DNA flash might make it feel denser, kind of like when you put a lot of React in the Zoom Fly, it just becomes a brick. Like I was worried about that, but it actually made it softer. And I was very happy about that. So maybe they did that to the Catamount. I actually don't know, because I haven't looked at I don't have any information about the stack heights. So yeah. So that's it. All right, that's going to be it for today, everybody. Tomorrow's be the video about the Peg Trail 4 Gore-Tex. It's really good. Go get it. It's on sale now. And you can watch the video tomorrow as well. And then we'll do another live stream for Friday, same time as today, 1 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully I'll see you then. In the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.